you need to wake up at to get 7 to 8 hours sleep. If you need to wake up at 8 o'clock, should you be going to bed at 11? Should you be going to bed at 12? Just try and figure out what time. And if it takes you half an hour to get ready for bed, an hour to get ready to bed, then figure that out and calculate that into your time you need to go to bed at. So pretty much set an alarm for going to bed and stick to it and turn off your Netflix. Okay? You don't need to watch that extra episode. It'll still be there tomorrow. Try and keep your wake up, fall asleep time somewhat consistent, even on the weekends. Okay, your body has a circadian rhythm where cortisol is released, melatonin is released, it's a balance, there's a flow, and you don't want to shock it. Okay, I know on the weekends we might have something we've got to stay up late for. Fine, fantastic, enjoy it. But just try not to make it a habit that you're always like swapping from one extreme to the other. Stimulants. Does caffeine affect your sleep? Even if you're drinking caffeine at 9 o'clock at night and you can fall asleep, your quality of sleep is going to be affected. So it's not always about falling asleep, but it can be the quality of your sleep. So try and have your last caffeinated beverage before 4 p.m. And the same with exercise. If you find you have issues with sleep and you're going to go do a HIIT class or a spin class at 7 p.m., probably not the best idea to help with your sleep. I would look to do that before 4 p.m. in the day. Exposure to blue light. Okay. When we're exposed to blue light, our body cannot produce melatonin. And melatonin is the hormone that puts us to sleep. It builds up after the sun goes down. So in the morning, it's super important to get out and expose yourself to sunlight. Even if it's a cloudy day, ideally you'd like to see a little bit of blue sky. It makes you feel happy anyway. But first thing in the morning, super important, go outside, get some light. Open your eyes, let that light in, okay? This helps to regulate your sleep-wake cycle. So your cortisol is going to be high in the morning, and then as it gets darker throughout the day, then melatonin starts to produce, and that's your sleep hormone. Artificial light, so blue light on your devices, your phones, your laptops, your iPads, these guys are in close proximity to us, and even with the flux, like the blue light turn off switch, it's still producing a lot of light that's going to affect us. TV is okay because it's actually further away from us. If you're watching a TV, ideally do not watch Netflix in bed, on your laptop, on your iPad, on your phone. Okay, you want to try and promote melatonin in the evening. Get rid of that blue light. Your sleep environment. Is your bedroom set up to create the best sleep environment possible for you? The temperature, the darkness, are there electrical devices? There should be no devices in your bedroom. Okay, just get rid of them. They're not needed. It's for sleeping and a bit of hanky-panky. All right, that's what your bedroom's for. It is not for watching TV or working. So just make sure you set up that environment. Me personally, I need blackout blinds. I need it pitch black. Okay, and I've got a couple of options with blankets so that if I'm too cold, too warm, I can change it around. And do you have an unwind routine? Lavender, a hot bath, whatever it is for you, magnesium, a hot drink to get you into the routine of knowing you're going to go to sleep. Supplements. There's different supplements that you can use for sleep. Melatonin is on prescription in Ireland. In Canada, you can buy it. Personally, I've used it a couple of times, more for jet lag than anything. I wouldn't rely on it all the time. You want your body to be able to produce it itself. It's a fantastic supplement. But yeah, short term, not long term. Magnesium helps your muscles relax. So if you find that your body's just tired, achy, magnesium is really good to help with sleep. If you need something else to help with sleep, there's a lot of different things out there like chamomile, hops. There's a lot of different ones, but it's literally go out there and try it and see what works for you. Your mind, if you need to take the edge off, I use theanine, which is an amino acid, really helpful. But again, there's more information on supplements. There's going to be another lesson on that. So if you need that, look into that. Always try to address an overactive mind. So if you're stressed going to bed, I like to do a dump list of things that I achieved today and things that I need to do tomorrow. So kind of like a to-do list or a to-done list, whatever works for you. But it's just take it out of your mind. If you take that out of your mind, you're going to function better. One of my old bosses, Barry Walsh, he said, you always have to have a notepad and a pen beside your bed. And I was like, why? And he goes, well, if you have any great ideas in the middle of the night, you can write them down. but I just found that it was very helpful to do my dumping list. You can also use deep breathing or meditation to help with an overactive mind. We're going to talk about deep belly breathing. And then just make sure the last thing at night that your snack or your meal includes protein. Okay, protein helps to balance your blood sugars. Protein takes the longest to go through your digestive system. It can take up to 6 hours to go through your digestive system, where carbohydrates might take less than 2 hours. So your blood sugar can become imbalanced if you're eating a lot of sugar before bed, like chips, chocolate. Chocolate contains caffeine, so bear that in mind. But you're just always looking to balance out your blood sugar levels so that you're not getting woken up in the middle of the night by your blood sugar levels crashing. So growing up, there was 4 of us, a twin sister and 2 brothers, and my older brother, terrible for sleepwalking and sleep eating. We'd wake up in the morning and there'd just be wrappers of biscuits and Jaffa cakes and cookies down in the kitchen, sprawled all over the counter. We'd be like, what? My brother would literally wake up in the middle of the night, come down and eat. Didn't even know he was eating, but his blood sugars had crashed, and that's why he'd gotten up. So just bear that in mind. If you're waking between 2, 3 a.m. and you think you're always needing to pee at that time, it can also be that your blood sugar was just crashing. So supplements that help with your immune system. The difference between vitamin C and vitamin D is that vitamin C is water soluble. Vitamin C and Bs are water soluble, and vitamin D is fat soluble. If you're stressed at all, I'd recommend taking a vitamin B complex. It's not on this list, but the vitamin B complex needs to be in its active form. It needs to be methyl. It's easier for you to absorb pretty much in the active form. If you buy a cheaper one, it's not in that active form and might be harder for you to digest it. You might not actually digest a lot of it. So active form of B vitamins if you are stressed. Okay. Then vitamin C, you're always looking for it to be a food-based supplement, not ascorbic acid. So your dose is up to 500 milligrams a day. Vitamin C and vitamin B are water soluble, so if you take high doses, it doesn't matter, your body's going to flush it out. With your B complex, the B2 in it is going to turn your urine bright yellow, just to be aware. Vitamin D is supporting your immune system, not sports, but vitamin D supports your immune system, but it's fat soluble, so the stores stay in your body. So if you're taking a high dose supplement, you need to make sure that you're getting your levels tested, because you want to be in the ideal range, not in the toxic range. It's hard to get into the toxic range, don't get me wrong, but you don't want to be there. From September to May in the Western Hemisphere, it is hard to get vitamin D through the sun. And it's hard to get vitamin D through the sun because most of us are either in the shade or we slap on a load of sun cream. My advice, 20 minutes of your legs in the sun. Okay. Body makes vitamin D on your skin. If you are exposing your hands and your face and you wash your hands and your face way more than you wash your legs, you're going to wash that vitamin D off before it's converted and made in the body. Okay. Vitamin D is a super supplement, a super ingredient that we get. But if you're not exposing yourself to the sun, you're not going to get any. And if you are not supplementing, it's very hard to get in your diet. So you want to supplement between 2,000 IUs a day. You can go up to 5,000 IUs, but it all depends on a blood test and where your blood vitamin D levels are at. Okay, especially this time of year, we're coming into halfway through April. Vitamin D levels are definitely going to be low because we've just gone through the winter. Zinc. So zinc protects the cell membrane. Okay, and if you remember, viruses get in by damaging the cell membrane. That's how they get into the cell. So you do not want to consume zinc on an empty stomach. It will make you feel nauseous. Okay, bear that in mind. Even small amounts can make you feel nauseous. So your dose can be up to 100 milligrams for about 30 days. And then you want to taper it off. You can drop down to 20, 25 milligrams a day. Zinc and copper compete with each other for absorption. So if you're taking a high copper and a low zinc, you're going to mess it all up. And if you're taking a high zinc with low copper, you might mess it up. So you just want to make sure that you're taking a supplement. So go your high dose zinc. Then after that, just make sure you're taking in some copper with it. And the form I'd recommend is an zinc acetate and a lozenge throughout the day. Lozenges throughout the day are an amazing way to get them in. Just in general, a mineral complex, our bodies are pretty low in minerals, unfortunately, and this is because most of us, the food that we're eating is deficient in minerals. And the reason the food is deficient is because the soil's deficient. Okay, so the more processed the food and the soil, the more deficient you are, essentially. Like organic foods will give back minerals into the soil, where conventional foods will, there's up to 52 minerals that can go into growing a fruit or vegetable. But the problem with conventional growing is that they only add 3 back in. NPK, is that it? NKP? That's all they add back in. They just add those 3 and it makes it look like that tomato is beautifully nourishing. Unfortunately, it's not always the case, so you want to make sure organic if you're looking to increase your mineral content. Elderberry, take this as a syrup liquid. You can buy at a health store, some Sambucol. This can shorten the duration of an infection. N-acetylcysteine is an amino acid, but it helps support the liver and reduce the inflammatory response. And then echinacea helps support your immune system. It's best to take this as the weather changes. Okay. So stress management, yoga, deep